Hi, everyone. Welcome to Our Disabled Future, a series where disabled voices lead the way. I'm your host, Nico. It is a good day for disability inclusion. Each day during Disability, each day during Disability Pride Month, I'm amplifying real disabled stories, where we are, where we want to go, and how the heck we're going to get there. Together, I hope. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Hadley. Let's dive in. Hi, Hadley. Thank you for joining me.
Very welcome.
So tell us about yourself and about your disabled life.
Um, Quick and short, um, I was hit by a van near Seton Hall University in New Jersey, and the van threw me 10 feet, and I landed basically on my head and my back and different things. But basically, what happened is, and I don't remember any of it because I was given what's called a traumatic brain injury, and that's why I'm wearing my funny brain hat, which says "think" and has a question mark on the very top. So that's my disability, even though I have kind of mental health problems, honestly, due to abusive family situations. But the main thing put is that I'm a brain injury survivor, and I got a lot to say about it. You
I,
say when, I'll keep going because I'm a good talker.
I can't
And
wait to hear more.
well, also, and I should explain, I know a little bit of different languages, don't mind me, and some finger spelling for sign language. And so I kind of talk about a whole bunch of different things. And very quickly, if you hear a huge meow, I've got a deaf cat who lets me know when she wants food, she's bored, whatever. My cat is totally fine. She's had dinner. So I just want to explain to be hear a huge meow. And
I
this is
appreciate
my
that.
mother's place, and there's everything all over the place. So anyway,
Thank you
but
so much.
mhm.
What does a disability friendly future look like for you?
The keyword is friendly because quite literally, because I know kind of the bad side of it in certain ways. And disability is hopefully people just recognize you who you literally are, whatever your disability is, whatever is, I want to say your challenge is, though I don't think that's the right word, but because I have disabled people also in my family, largely with mental illnesses. And it's very important to listen to their needs, respect them, but also take the time to listen to them anyway, in terms of through communication, however communication is for them. And I'm a person who's actually talked to Senator staff in DC regarding disability issues, as well as local congressmen things. Excuse me, that wasn't proper. They're not congressmen things. Local congressmen, as well as local politicians. And believe me, I'm not done because some disabled issues, which I can go into if you want, but basically some disabled issues are pushed under the rug and not listened to. And I can also explain more about my specific brain injury if you want to know more about that. And there's a lot of things to talk about. The main is hopefully people with disabilities hopefully have the best life you can, but also not totally isolated and definitely have some good people around you. Or adopt a cat who's quiet at the moment
All good advice. Hadley,
and
I would
and
love to
use
know
it.
more about the disabled issues you feel are swept under the rug.
They have to do I'll be straightforward. They have to do with people being abused, disabled people being abused, and nobody hears about it or reports it. And the system set up right now where they don't get heard. They don't get heard. And it has to do definitely with the issue of myself being abused. But at this point, I speak for many other people because I speak in a way about Pennsylvania and specifically, but also New Jersey. But I realized as I've ended up talking to several senators, staff in DC, that it's certain things need to be recognized for us to be able to get help when we need it. And one example pops in my head. You can call, if you have a crisis, you can supposedly call 988 or 998. Help me out, Nico. Is it 998?
988?
988. Thank you. I'm disorganized with my brain injury. But anyway, calling that number helps a lot of people. It's needed without a doubt. But if you're in a crisis, I guess largely also because you have a disability, you get told we're only here for suicide issues. Have a great day, and that's it. And there needs to be a phone number for disabled people if they're in some type of crisis. And I'm talking about nationwide. That's one issue. And the other issue is when disabled people are being abused, the whole goal, in a way, if that's happening, is to not go into a shell and totally disappear from everybody, whatever your challenge is too, because that can be incredibly, doesn't help, quite literally. But also people who want to report about it, staff people. Oh, sugar, hold on, my power is 10%. Okay. They don't know that they're legally allowed to report abuse, and they don't lose their job. So the main thing is, though, quite literally, for people to be heard what's going on and to be helped out when they need to be helped out, especially disabled people. And I have specific issues having to do with my disability called a brain injury or acquired brain injury, or traumatic brain injury. But Nico, you lead the goal in terms of what you'd like me to talk about, because believe me, I've got a lot to talk about.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
Mhm.
guess I want to kind of figure out where we go with my third question, which is how do we get to that disability friendly future? What's our strategy? So you can talk about what your strategy has been to address these issues.
Could you repeat that, please? I didn't quite hear
Sure,
you.
that's fine. My third question asks, how do we get to that disability friendly future? What strategies do we use? So here you could talk about the issues that you bring up to senatorial staff in DC and how you want those issues resolved.
Do you mean the issues that I brought up, or did I hear you say the word friendly in terms of how to make it a better atmosphere for people with disabilities?
Both, insofar as you can combine them. Would that make sense?
Um, if my axons in my brain work correctly, connect, and I understand, yeah, no disrespect intended. Um, the largest thing in a way is communication, talking to each other as disabled people talking to disabled people, but also how disabled people talking to everybody else. Because people with disabilities maybe don't understand us, because mine's what's called invisible. And that's a big thing. Believe me, that's a big thing. And the main thing with communication, or finding ways to communicate, which are many ways of doing that, depending maybe on your disability, but the main way is to communicate about what you think is important and for that to be heard. And I think, in a way, even though I can talk very well, I can know a lot of people to talk to. That's my strength, but I think it also needs to be recognized. People with disabilities who don't have they just don't have the ability to really voice what's going on. And I don't mean voice talk, just can't communicate in some ways. To make it friendlier is basically for people to have their voices heard, and that includes all types of people, whatever language, whatever culture, because I also work a lot helping to advocate for people without homes or homeless people. That's a totally different area. And also, one quick note, with my brain injury, I go off subject a little bit. That's called tangents. So I'm trying to stick to what you're saying. The main thing is, hopefully, yes, to make it friendly, meaning a good atmosphere for us, whatever our challenges, my word, challenges or disabilities are, but also feel confident in what you can do, and also find ways to handle what's going on. And I speak that way because the issues that I'm dealing with personally, but also the things I'm voicing for others, um, I'm not confident at all in terms of how it's going so far. But there are ways to work with different things, because believe me, I love music. I could tell you loads about music, and so many other things. Um, and I won't sing to you. Believe me, you don't want to hear me sing. Uh, but basically, the main thing is to make it a more friendly environment for people with disabilities. In some ways, we need to be heard and we need to be respected. And there's many political, whatever things go on at this time, um, somewhat in our favor, but also somewhat not in our favor. So again, the thing I think is to make it a friendlier world, or a friendly United States for people with disabilities, is to find a way for us to get together to talk with ourselves, as well as I think with other people who may not understand their disability, but hopefully can still respect us. And that goes to Aretha Franklin, RESPCT song, but never mind that. Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm having a real fun time tonight. I think the examples that you gave are fantastic. And I love the spirit that you bring to your work. Hey, I like that. Hadley, as we close our time together tonight, I want to give you a chance that you and I, as disabled people, rarely get, and that is a chance to brag about ourselves. You might promote something that you've done recently or something you have in progress. Um, if you have like an online presence, where can people find you online? This is just a free space, open time for you to be your own cheerleader. Let's hear it.
I'm on LinkedIn. My email address, if you want, is well, it's straightforward. Littell Hadley, LITTELLHADLEY @gmail.com. And I'll see what happens regarding what I continue to do. Because again, pardon me, but I've got a hell of a lot going on. Because I'm having to speak for a lot of people who are being abused, etc., and that includes myself in a certain way, and it gets incredibly tiring, etc. And I'm also really huge on climate change, a totally different issue, but I'm really trying to be prepared for climate change situations for people with disabilities that were taken care of and not just, forgive me, left in the dust. And I hate to say that. But in terms of myself, I've actually studied, I think it's 7 different colleges, just because I love to learn. And this is my mother's thing. So you kind of get the idea. But I love music. I love instruments. I'm very good at working with people with disabilities, whatever the situation may be. Probably either because of my own brain injury that I'm different, or just it's my genes, honestly. Because one time I read to a gentleman who was passing away in a hospital. I was helping him out, and he wanted me to read the Bible to him. I'm like, okay, all religions are fantastic, and in a way, okay. I read him the Bible for 2 hours, and he passed away, and I didn't realize it because he was just plain so not comatose, but something like that. And I'm very proud to be able to do that. And don't get overwhelmed by everything. I experience that a lot because I'm under a lot of stress with a whole variety of things. But the main thing is to find whatever your strengths are, or take your time in finding them. And I don't know, go watch a soccer game. The US World Cup is happening. Yay. And pardon me, but the guys are so handsome. I'll leave that alone. But there's so much to say without a doubt. And believe me, I don't stop talking when needed. I don't. And I mean that positively. I know 4-letter words, yes, in different languages, and I can show people they're crazy. That's sign language. But it's called be appropriate, be professional, but also time step back sometimes too. So does that sound okay? Then I'll shut up and go. My cat's actually being very quiet. I guess she knows that I'm talking. So
This was fantastic. Hadley, thank you so much. I really appreciated hearing your perspective.
no problem. No problem.
All right,
No problem at
folks.
all.
Thank you.
I'm
Tune in
glad they're
next time.
talkative.
Remember, this is our disabled future, and we're building it one day at a time together. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Bye.
Go.